Hey, Charlie Dobbins here for another video vlog for the Multifamily Investing Academy. We just got off our Monday call. I'm not going to tell you it was a great call. It was a good call, but it was one of our great calls. But it was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of laughs as usual, which is par for the course. There was no real agenda today, but what I had done is over the course of the week or course of the last 2 weeks, I had been accumulating stories or questions from students about stuff that's going on in their business. And we brought this to the call tonight, and I brought them up in a question. So let me run. I'm going to give you 3 broker questions that people came up with, and just so you can get an idea of how I teach, but more importantly, how I want my students to perform, and I want my students to do when they're in these types of situations. So first situation is we had one student sent in this question from a broker. It says, and the student asked me, how do you respond to this broker? He asked me this question. I don't know what to say. Question is, what kind of return? The broker asked this of the student. What kind of return would you need in order to get into a new project? And then he asked the question, what locations are you looking for? I can search anywhere in the United States. Okay, 2-part question, and both questions make me think that this broker doesn't know what the heck he's doing. Okay, think about the return. What's the return? The return is the cash-on-cash return. Well, or it could be internal rate of return, but for the sake of this discussion, let's say that it was the cash-on-cash return. Well, the cash-on-cash return has got nothing to do with the property. It has everything to do with the deal that I, as the buyer, have negotiated with the seller. Is my cash-on-cash return going to be different if I've negotiated seller financing? Well, of course it is. What if I negotiated a 100% seller finance deal? What's my cash-on-cash return going to be? Infinity. So the broker asked the question, what kind of return will you need? Well, I'm going to need infinity. I only do deals with infinity returns. Well, that's just stupid. You're not going to even look for a property that has infinity returns. So why would the broker ask that question? The broker is asking that question because he doesn't know what he's doing. And I can prove it because of the next question that he asks, where do you want to do deals? I can search anywhere in the country. Or, okay, well, bravo to you. I can too. How about Alaska? Let's do a deal in Alaska. How many leads do you have in Alaska, Mr. Broker? Oh, hold on. Let me jump on LoopNet and find them for you. Listen, I can go on LoopNet. I don't need a broker to do this. I want a broker that brings me his listings. I want to know what listings he has. That's how I'm going to know whether this guy's a real broker or not. Now, what I then went on to tell people is, and this is what I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to be teaching down in Virginia this weekend. When I teach in Virginia, one of the things I do is I teach how to use LoopNet. LoopNet is where deals go to die. That's one of the things. But how do you use LoopNet for the deal? And you use LoopNet by what I call the shotgun approach and the rifle approach. And the rifle approach is once you decide where you want to find a deal, where you want to build your business, what geographical location, put that geographical location into LoopNet and hit search. No other search parameters, just the geographical location. It will pull up everything. It'll pull up mobile home parks. It'll pull up warehouses. It'll pull up everything. Start going through each one of those properties and looking and connecting with the brokers that have those listings. Those are the guys that are doing deals. Those are the guys that can make things happen. Work with them. Don't work with some guy who says that he can search in all 50 states. Anybody can do that. All right. You want to deal with brokers and people who are doing deals. Where's my pen? Okay. Now here's another question I got from a student. He got a question from a broker that said, hey, congratulations. We're looking forward to getting this deal under contract with you, because it had an accepted offer. And then they asked, who will be doing the loan for you? Who will be handling the debt in your capital stack? What's the right answer to that? When a broker asks you that question, what do you say? None of your business. It is none of your business who I go to for my lender. And the conversation that came up when we were talking about this is some of the students were saying, hey, I got a broker that works with a particular mortgage broker, and he wants me to put it with that broker. Like, not on your life. Use your own mortgage broker. Use your own source for the debt. Think about it. The seller is your enemy. The broker is your enemy. Don't give your enemy bullets for their gun. They will use it against you every chance they can. And that includes you turning over your private personal financial statement to the mortgage broker. Oh, well, they don't share this information. Oh, really? They don't get a lunch together? They don't go like, hey, you know that guy? Ooh, you went to see his credit rating. No, you do not give that information to the broker or the broker's lender. You are in business. You are in control of the deal. Go after that and make sure that you do not make sure that you don't give up that information. That guard that with your life. Don't give your enemy bullets for their gun. All right. Okay. Then the final one, the lender. Part of the way we get compensated as multifamily investors is through the acquisition fee. All right. One new student in my program was talking to a particular lender, explaining to them about how he plans on capturing an acquisition fee. And the lender was like, oh, you can't do that. No, that's illegal. You can't. I had to explain to the student. I said, listen, it's not illegal. It's totally fine. It's actually just none of the lender's business. Entirely about how you are structuring your deal and how you're being compensated for your deal. It's not illegal for the lender to make money on the sale, and it's not illegal for you to make money on the acquisition fee. Just make sure you disclose everything. Now, why doesn't the lender know anything about this? Because it's none of his business. It doesn't even fall within his parameters. The acquisition fee is between you and your investor partners, not between you and the bank. So understand that that's how you set up the acquisition fee, and you don't have to worry about what the lender's thinking about. But make sure that it's always going to be in your offering memorandum, not the offering memorandum, the subscription agreement and the private placement memorandum. This is where you're going to find the information about the acquisition fee. Disclose, always disclose. So that is it. That is how our call went tonight. It was fun. We had a couple of good laughs. And so if you are interested and you want to find out more about the owner forum, I'm actually, you can go on my website. You can sign up. You can click on the little video that I have coming up where you can find out more about it. It is by application only. You have to apply to be into the owner forum. But that's just the way it is. We are at full capacity, and we're just not going to let anybody in willy-nilly, because we provide a lot to our students to help them get across the finish line. If you want to own multifamily property, you've got to be in the owner forum. So click below, fill it out. Let's get started. I know that was a bad Boston accent. I know, but all Boston accents are bad, especially those guys for Goodwill Hunting. Oh, atrocious. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.